Hi there, welcome to my channel. This week I'm going to be doing a review on the Smashbox Cover Shot eye palettes, and these were released sometime in December, earlier December. I can't really remember the exact day, and these were available on Sephora for VIB Rouge only for a little while. I was fortunate to get my hands on 3 out of the 7 palettes. So the way I'm planning on doing these videos is I'm just going to review on the kind of like the palettes themselves, like out of the 3 that I have and what I've noticed the differences the similarities between the 3. And then I'm going to go and make separate videos of each of these palettes as well, and kind of like describing what the colors are like and how I've noticed that each color performs and all that. Like, I just wanted to do a really deep and thorough video because there are just so many palettes. I just thought it'd be such a long video to do a review on like all 3 palettes that I have in one video. So that's why I'm kind of just breaking it up into kind of smaller videos. So the 3 palettes I have in the collection are Softlight, Metallic, and Golden Hour. And I have tried almost every single one of these shades except for the base shades and some colors from certain palettes because they're just not the kind of colors that I would wear. They are small, just like the Too Faced chocolate chip one that I reviewed. So this is the kind of size difference between the two. So the Smashbox ones is a little bit bigger than the Too Faced one, as well as it's a little bit thicker. And again, this is the size of my phone. I have the iPhone SE. And again, it's just a little bit smaller than it, but it is a little bit thicker than it as well. And since Josh and I are leaving for Prague on Friday, I'm definitely probably going to be bringing some of these palettes because they're just so cute and small and easy to travel with. Like, it's the exact same thing as carrying around my phone. So like, these are awesome. All 3 of these palettes also come with a mirror, as you can see. I haven't taken like the plastic protector off of my palettes yet because I just like to keep my mirror clean. The mirror on these palettes look kind of okay. You're actually gonna have to take off the cover on the mirror if you actually want to use it because the clear piece makes the mirror look really bad and like very foggy. I find that the shadows themselves are quite a good size for such a tiny palette. I don't really know what size they are because I can't find the sizes anywhere, but these are pretty good sized pans for such a small palette, and I really like the layout of them. Like, it really reminds me of the Kat Von D palettes, which is kind of cool. These palettes are also a very reasonable price. Each palette costs $29 US or 35 Canadian dollars, which is very affordable for something at Sephora. A lot of these shadows also have very nice textures to them. A lot of them are very nice and smooth and velvety. There aren't a lot that feel super chunky and weird out of the 24 shades that I have. A lot of them are honestly super smooth and velvety and very, very soft and creamy and just very, very nice quality. You do have the shade names on the back of the palette. It is kind of, for me, it was kind of difficult to be like, okay, what shade is what, so I can actually know what I'm talking about when I want to do a review on these. But it's kind of easy to figure out because like one of the shades is called Metalwork. Well, which one looks more like metal to you? Like, obviously it's like, oh, okay, so I know that, and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of convenient. And I just noticed before filming that on the top of the box for the palette, it shows the shade names and like the color corresponding. So that was kind of a blonde moment for me. This one's also pretty cool. For the design on the palette, like it kind of goes. I showed this to Josh, and he was like playing with it. He goes, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool! It's like an explosion of color." I'm going, facepalm. But I thought that was kind of cute how he thought it was an explosion of color, which is actually, I think, what it's supposed to be portrayed of. Very cool and fun to play with. This is also a very secure closure. I think it's magnetic. Like it's a pretty strong magnet. Like, just closes super easy, and it's gonna take a lot for it to just open by itself. Like, it's a pretty strong magnet. I found all of the colors that I have used up to this point blend very, very easily. Like, I just kept swatching and making sure they blended nice to say I can actually say it, and they just did that job just like that. Like, it was very, very effortless. These shadows last a whole workday when used with primer. That kind of surprised me considering how inexpensive like a palette is at Sephora. But no, these basically last all day with my shadow insurance. And honestly, out of the 3 palettes that I have, most of these colors are insanely wearable for so many people. I was actually very surprised when I got these palettes, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can actually wear like all of these colors to work. Like, that's crazy. So like that's amazing. So like, you don't have to like make it just a nighttime look. Like, you can actually wear this stuff to work. Depending on which palette you do buy and which skin tone you have, you can create some looks throughout these palettes. I found with the palettes that I have, if you're a deeper or darker skin tone, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to make a whole bunch of looks with just like a certain palette per se, because like some of these colors aren't like super dark. But when you start to get more palettes, I think you might be able to make more looks. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember what the other 4 palettes look like. And there is very minimal kick up. I remember complaining about the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette having so much kick up with like some of their shadows, and I find that there's hardly any kick up with these shadows. Like, I think I've only found maybe 3 or 4 shades in all the palettes that have some kick up, which is very good. And I don't even know if it's that many shades. Like, I can only think of 1, but I'm pretty sure there's got to be more than that have some kick up. Now for the cons. So these palettes do not stay propped up by themselves. So like, you see how it's open? It just closes all by itself. So when using your makeup, it's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt because you can't just like set it down because it's gonna fall. I have found probably less than half of all my shades have a lot of glitter. Like, kind of like actual glitter, where it's kind of like, it'd be like a matte shade with like glitter flecks in it, but like a lot of glitter flecks in them. These shadows are definitely meant to be used with an eyeshadow primer, I find. If you do not use an eyeshadow primer, they fade like halfway through, like half of your eye. For me, it's the outer half of my eyelid that it's just gone without eyeshadow primer, and that's just like an at-home day, which is disappointing. But at least with primer, it lasts all day, a whole work day. A lot of these shades you are going to need to build up. Some shades are obviously insanely pigmented, you don't need to, but the majority of shades I found I need to really build up. I think that's because I got a lot of kind of fair shades, which don't really are gonna show up on me, so I'm gonna have to, I'm really gonna have to build up those shadows. But some of them are honestly very pigmented. And so far that I've noticed, 2 out of my 3 palettes have like a weird textury thingy in the middle. Like, I don't know if you can see where it's like, you can see in the middle of the palette they have like all that weird stuff in the middle, just from like using it a little bit, which is kind of frustrating because I'm gonna take a Q-tip and kind of scrub at it to get rid of that, so I can actually use the whole shadow pan thingy. And no, like, honestly, I think the only palette I found so far that doesn't have that is the Softlight one. And kind of like I've said before, is I believe you're going to need more than 1 palette to create looks. Like, obviously very doable, but like, I know a lot of people are very creative and like this just won't like suffice for them. But all in all, I think these are freaking great palettes. No, honestly, if they came out with more like different shades, I would probably buy some. I was contemplating getting a Blaze, but I kind of decided against it. I do not want the matte palette because I do not like matte shades. I'm not really into bold. And then there's the smoky one, which don't look like a lot of the colors that I would use. The smoky one might be kind of universal because a lot of those colors are quite dark. The bold one looks very cool, and a Blaze looks kind of nice. Like, a Blaze reminds me a little bit like Golden Hour, except the colors are like more warmer. So honestly, no, I really love these palettes. I think they are great. super inexpensive. These will make a great gift. I'm surprised I actually liked all 3 of my palettes because I thought I'd be disappointed like I was with the Too Faced one, but no, honestly, I freaking love these. These are going to be a great gift, and if you buy them, I'm pretty sure you're going to love them. I'm just very overall pleased with them. So in the order I'm going to review these, I'm going to put up the Golden Hour palette one on probably Friday. I'm going to have the metallic one up on Monday. And I'm going to have the Softlight palette review up on Thursday, like next Thursday. So, and these are all going to have like finger swatches and brush swatches and how all the colors perform. I've written down like all the colors and how I thought they performed. So I'm just going to go off that, so you guys can actually know what the colors are like, how they actually wear, and like I just wanted to make a really nice in-depth video. Alright, so thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys have a great week.